What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Beard Laws, episode 46, and we all know whose music that is. Hopefully you guys do. If you don't, guys, that's tonight's guest. And yeah, we had full rights YouTube and Periscope and Twitter and Twitch and all that good stuff to play that. Yeah, because he's backstage. Logan set everything up, and as always, it's a couple of decent-looking dudes, and Logan's here. So let's get rid of this, and boop. Here we are. Guys, that's live on YouTube. Make sure you guys head over there, check it out. That's where we were playing it. Thanks, YouTube. All right. Again, guys, this is Beard Laws episode 46. We're going to hit you with a quick little intro, and we're going to get him in here as soon as we can. He's backstage. He's ready. Trust me. Intro time. Beard Law number 46. I always hear dudes say they cut their beard off because they couldn't handle the itchy stage. If your balls itch, you're going to cut them off too? Don't cut your beard. Don't cut your balls. Again, guys, this is Beard Laws, episode number 46. Another pretty mediocre episode. Glad you guys could check it out. Special guest, Ekoh, is hanging out backstage. And, of course, we got this guy right here. What's your name? Who are you?
Hi. I'm Logan.
Hi, Logan.
Like we all know who that is. That's Logan, and we know who this guy is. He's missing his co-host from here, but for obvious reasons. It looks like he got a little bit of sleep, and by little bit, probably a little bit.
Yeah, I have. You can see the bags underneath my eyes. I definitely have slept more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's got those new dad eyes. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. So, like we said, guys, we got Ekoh chilling backstage, and he's got some stuff to do. So we wanted to start a couple of minutes early. We're gonna jump right into the intro, and then we're gonna bring him in here and have our conversation. So if you guys are ready, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Tonight's guest is Ekoh. He's a man who started out TikTok by showing off his love for Jameson, and I can relate to that kind of love. A man who was a time traveler, a fortune cookie writer, a rapper, and a heart hop. A man who's all about that parkour life. A man who is not only a rapper, but a magician. A man who busted out a sweet Santa beard for Christmas videos, but he wore around his neck as if it was a necklace and not on his face like the rest of us. A man who has a 3-step guide to getting better friends. Don't be a Todd. A man who created one of the weirdest game shows ever, The Joker's Wild. Sadly, it was canceled after one episode. A man that can teach you how to low-budget flip that house, even if there's a dick drawn on the wall. The CEO of Chad Beats, a man who's unpredictable and kills all those first dates. A man who will be the motivational speaker you need. So hire him. Well, if school's actually open back up. A man who thinks the elephant should be the king of the jungle for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
A man that can tell you how to deal with the haters and probably get rid of them for the right price. A man who recently learned the real way to make a TikTok in the bathroom mirror, of course. The one, the only, Ekoh!
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's happening?
Such a great intro.
Thanks.
He does his research.
And yours was pretty good because you're fairly new to TikTok, so thanks for not having 7,000 videos like some of the guests, because it takes a while to scroll all the way back from like 2018.
I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to work my way up.
Yeah, and then when you're really even bigger than when you are in the music game, we'll bring it back on the show. And I'm going to be like, oh, shit, man, you've had 7,000 more videos, and talking about elephant dicks way too much.
I have so many elephant dick videos in my phone that it was hard to pick the right one.
It was the right one. It was the right one. I was showing him I was actually at his work today, Logan's work today, and I was showing him. It seemed like a proper thing to show him at work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And by the way, that is a nice dick.
Wait, you still talking about?
Yeah. Who are we talking about? Where do you work?
Shh. Yeah, he's the treasure of OnlyFans. Don't worry about it. So first question that I ask every single guest, it's that generic question that kind of every show asks, mainly because I want to start doing collaborations. And some people have really cool stories and some just your average story. But what got you into TikTok?
That's a good question. I think it had been just a hot topic for so long, and I had, checked it out here and there. And I remember seeing ads for it just like pop up way back in the day. And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck this is. And whenever like a new social media pops up, there's like a long period of people just being very hesitant about it. Yep. And not really jumping over or talking shit about it. And that's kind of the thing. So eventually I was like, I'm just going to check it out. And once I started checking out, it was like I was amazed and overwhelmed. Mostly overwhelmed, because once you I spent much time like building up my other social media platforms, looking at that. I was like, fuck, man, this is like everything else on steroids. Everybody's so fucking creative. Everybody's so talented. And I'm just like, I don't even know if I have a place here. You know what I mean?
Well, you do, it turns out. And it's a good thing you joined now, because when it first came over from Musical.ly to TikTok, it was a very, very weird place.
Oh gosh,
it was. I mean, it's weird now, but when you get, you know what I mean, like the more creative people like you talk about, back then, it was pretty much just a whole bunch of people that didn't work, and this was pre-COVID, that were more or less just sitting, in their houses or vehicles where they live, just kind of saying, I need money to live. It was kind of like a social media for kind of homeless people. And not even kidding, or not trying to be a dick. Like, that's kind of what it was when it was. And I was just like, when it started, I'm like, this ain't the place for me. I got a house.
Yeah, it's depressing.
Yeah, it was weird. And then thankfully, I like to say that, the Beard Bros with the Christmas beard off was kind of like McGuire and Sosa with the steroid home run race. That helped save baseball. They helped save TikTok.
I love that.
That just popped in my head.
That's pretty good.
I don't know what made me think of it.
That was pretty good. I'm very proud of that one, Matt.
Somebody record that one. We're going to put it on the TikTok later. Yeah, we're going to put
TikTok has quickly become like my favorite social media, just to be on, to create with, and just do different kinds of stuff, man.
It makes like kind of the editing and some of the videos and stuff that you can feed off really easy, which I think personally is nice. And yeah, it's a cool thing. Do you remember one of the first people that you followed on TikTok? Because you always remember your first.
I don't know who my first. I don't remember my first. I think my first was probably like a dog video, because there was so much awesome dog shit. Like when I got onto,
actual dog.
I thought that it was just mostly animals. I'm like, why is there so many animal videos on here? I think I was looking with my girlfriend at the time, and not at the time, but at the time we were together, and she's like super into, and she just started following all these accounts for me, because she doesn't have any social media really, so she just kind of goes vicariously through me.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
So it's probably one of those.
Nice. So tell us about the random coconut that ended up on your tour bus.
Dude, Marge?
Yeah.
Marge is fucking legendary. So we were in Florida, and Florida's historically a pretty shitty place to tour for a lot of people.
You could have just stopped at Florida's pretty shit. I mean,
well, it's mad hot. The market is just really weird, so it's hard for people to tour there, because it's hard to have pull and draw in a lot of venues, and places are weird. Nothing against the people or anything. So we were playing a show in Florida. We were playing in Margate. That's what it was. Margate, Florida, which I'm sure nobody knows what Margate is.
No.
And outside the venue, we were with a friend of mine, Dizzy Wright. If you guys know who Dizzy Wright is, he's another rapper. And he's vegan. And so we found these coconuts on the ground and decided to play vegan football with the coconuts. And so we were just like throwing this back and forth, and my DJ Codebreak and I were so fucking bored, and that show had like nobody there. And so we were like, let's go find a way to bring this coconut to life. So we named her Marge. We threw some fresh kicks on her and some dreads.
Yeah.
And she followed us for the rest of the tour, all the way back home. The last show I live in Vegas, so the last show was in Vegas, and the venue here wanted to keep her, so we left her at Brooklyn Bowl in Las Vegas. So you can actually she's probably rotten by now, but you probably could have gone to see Marge. We brought her on stage for every show. She crowd surfed every show, and it was pretty epic.
Amazing. That's so freaking awesome.
Time for Marge too. when touring is allowed again. So the Christmas song that kind of we spoke about in the intro, it was pretty awesome. You used the beard as a necklace. If you ever need some great beards, we kind of have some or whatever. And tell us a little bit about the song or the. I mean, obviously the inspiration behind the song was Christmas, but it's cool. I mean, for me personally, when you kind of see artists that take your typical Christmas songs and can put their twist on it and make it something that's enjoyable that you don't hear right after Thanksgiving and you work retail and want to rip your ears out.
I would, if I could grow a beard, I would. I just don't have the ability to. It doesn't grow in.
Took me 37 years.
Really? It happened when?
It took me 37 years to finally like manly hit puberty, and then last Labor Day, last Labor Day was the last time I shaved, and I'm 39 now. So give it time. Yeah,
all right,
it'll happen.
I'm not going to lose faith yet.
Don't lose faith. I was all blotchy and patchy, and my wife would always be, "Oh, it looks so good. It's coming in, honey." Like, shut up.
Yeah, then we put him on your talk show, and shit got real.
Yeah, shit got real. Now I have a beard.
But when we did the Christmas song, I think one of the first things I did on Facebook that went like semi-viral was like a Christmas list rap that I did. I was talking about random shit that I wanted, and it was like kind of funny. So I was like, we need to make another Christmas song, and I don't. It's hard for me to do like gimmicky stuff. And if I do, I really have to make it my own. And I was never a big fan of how all Christmas songs are like happy, because I get like seasonal depression. You know what I mean? So when I'm in December, I'm like, this shit sucks.
Oh, trust us, it snows from October, pretty much Halloween to Easter where we are. So we know about that shit. Yeah.
So I was like, I want to make a song that kind of hones in on that a little bit and the things that are going on in the world, you know what I mean? And the little things that I am, stoked on. So the song kind of took like some old Christmas melodies, and I think we flipped the song from Home Alone.
I was wondering if that was it. I was going to ask you.
Yeah, and we made the beat out of that and did that. So it's always fun for me to challenge myself to write different stuff and try and make it, fun and interesting.
Yeah, because one of my favorite Christmas albums that I play every year is the Snoop Dogg Christmas on vinyl. So I got another good at least song to play for Christmas time. We just got to get it.
Pop punk Christmas.
Yeah, I like. Yep, those are good too.
I can't help it. I'm like pop punk kid at heart. I can't help myself.
Who's your favorite or one of your favorite pop punk bands?
My favorite band of all time is AFI, and they're not really.
I love AFI. AFI is the shit. God called in sick today. Like
that
AFI
was the first song I heard from them when I was in I was like, I don't know, 13, something like that. Davey Havoc is God, in my opinion.
Bold statement, Cotton. Bold statement.
Bold statement.
What about Teenage Bottle Rocket? You listen to them at all?
I don't.
I've
heard the name.
You have to look them up. They're my go-to these days.
My first concert ever was Goldfinger.
Oh, mine was Crisscross.
Yours was Crisscross?
Crisscross, first concert ever. Why wouldn't I admit that? That's awesome.
Oh, it's wiggity, 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 whack. That's fucking dope.
I wore my clothes backwards for so many years. And then finally, by the time my senior year and senior pictures, they were like, dude, you're wearing your clothes backwards. And I was like, oh, yeah, and Chris is dead.
It's so weird that was a thing. What a random, but also if you look at Jinkos, that's really fucking weird that was a thing too.
Yeah, true. Imagine having to pee. As a kid, you can drop your drawers and it's okay, but if you're a grown ass adult wearing your clothes backwards, that's going to be tough to pee. Or tough. Poop, but when you guys gotta go.
Drop your ankles.
You're like,
when you pee now anyway? Is that not, it's not a thing?
Well, COVID times, they frowned upon it, I guess. Do they make anything like a portable device that you could put around your ankle so when you drop your pants, it doesn't hit the floor and get all shitty? If that's not a thing, we should invent that.
I think that's $1 million idea, right?
That is $1 million idea. The problem is there's so many people listening to us right now that someone's gonna go copyright that before we.
Yeah, but they've literally copyrighted it already right now.
Yeah, maybe. Hold on, let me do it real quick.
Say that again.
Oh, we'll talk about it later. We got more questions.
Yeah.
So I feel like
it's called a wheelchair.
No, you're not getting it. You don't get the joke. It's kind of like a portable squatty potty, but not an actual squatty potty. It's just a device. It can be used for multiple reasons. I'll show you later. I'll draw it up.
Like retractable suspenders.
Yeah, and they just.
That's actually kind of dope.
Yeah, that one's better. We're
not bad.
All right, we're gonna have a brainstorm session after. All right. So I feel like everyone probably, you know, in interviews and everything with you, they're like, who are your top 3 rappers? Da, da, da. Well, we do things a little different. So I want to know your 3 most hated or your 3 worst rappers. 3, you know, they could be the first thing on my mind. Just ones that you just are like, nah, they're terrible. They're just not me. They're terrible.
Nickelback.
Well, there's this thing with me where it's like, if I don't like it, I don't listen to it. So it's hard for me to find like someone I don't like because I automatically don't invest enough to not like it. If I automatically hear something, I just don't listen. So there's artists that I really don't respect. Like if you look at like a Bad Baby or like a Tekashi 6ix9ine is like, in the case of like a Bad Baby, like you're just a shitty person who got some really dope songs written for you. And so, or no, not Bad Baby, or the girl, the fucking Catch Me Outside.
Bad Bobby.
Bad Bunny or Bad
Bobby. It's like Bobby with a Barbie, but with like an H. Bad
like
Bobby.
Fuck her 7 days a week, dude. She sucks. But some of her songs fucking slap because they're written by the best fucking writers on the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not the best, but they're, you know, they're dope. So, but also it's like, if some shit is not like for me, I try not to say that something sucks. I've been trying to take it out of my vocabulary because I don't want people like, if it's just not for me, you know what I mean? So like, but with the case of those 2 individuals, yeah, that shit's garbage.
And if you say that when you're walking down the Vegas Strip, there's probably a whole bunch of women you don't want chasing you, running up to you looking for money.
That's also facts.
Yeah. So I've heard.
Yeah.
So best beard in the rap game, in your opinion?
Action Bronson.
I knew you were gonna say that.
So if you guys allow it because he's
Absolutely.
a producer, I'd say Rick Rubin. I don't know if you've seen his beard.
I don't think he counts.
Okay, well if he doesn't, then I'm gonna go Method Man. It's not the best beard, but he's my
Method
favorite
Man
rapper.
doesn't have a beard.
He's always had a beard. It wasn't like, but he's always had a beard.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's not the best one. That doesn't count.
No, Action Bronson.
Here, Action Bronson's like this, and he's awesome.
My
Well, he
Sage
picked it. I
Francis,
can't pick it. It's already been picked.
Sage Francis also has an incredible beard.
Yeah, I saw it was funny. It's funny because like Action Bronson looks like Action Bronson. Like no one really like looks like him, I guess. I guess in that industry, which is funny because I was watching King of Staten Island, and he plays, and I was like, I'm just sitting there because I listen to his music, but like he's not like one of those people that that you think about all the time, if that makes sense. But when you're watching a movie and then all of a sudden he just shows up, you're like, holy shit, that's Action Bronson. It's funny because he's like, I don't know, he just looks like he looks like Action Bronson. It's the weirdest thing. He looks like he is.
I guess Rick Ross has got a pretty sweet beard too, no?
It's true. Rick Ross.
Yeah, Rick Ross, yeah.
Who's the other one?
Sage Francis.
Scully.
Sage Francis and B. Dolan are 2 rappers I know. They have a group called Epic Beard Men.
Really?
That's dope.
I need to look this up.
How do we not know about this?
I don't know how we did.
I don't know.
But if you guys are watching the show, make sure you hit us up. We're going to do a whole bunch of TikToks to your music.
Must be an underground beard rapping culture we don't know about yet.
That's probably
man. Those guys are great.
That's probably a lot of trueness there. But so speaking of sweet beards, Rob, your boy Rob on the acoustic, he's got a pretty sweet beard. Maybe we'll get him on the show. Yeah,
Rob does have a nice beard.
He's got and I saw a video like kind of early on when you guys were doing some skits and stuff, and then one of your later ones, it really got there. Like he's doing good work. Shout out Rob's beard.
He is definitely putting in the work, my dude Rob, and he's an incredible songwriter too. But yeah, he's got a great beard. The power is in the beard. If he shaved it, he'd probably suck.
Don't shave it, Rob. Don't shave it.
Yeah, don't shave.
Don't shave.
That's what it is.
The good thing is you're not the first person on the show that was beardless, so that's good.
Right.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, his daughter was the first one.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, we've had.
What's funny though is she was very, very newborn, but she's got hair on her face. Newborns have a lot of hair pretty much everywhere, and she, So
you're saying it's a close tie.
It is a close tie. I will say though that Eko's a little bit of a better rapper than she is. Her words, they just mash together. They don't make sense.
She'd be a fire mumble rapper, though.
She'd be a really fire mumble rapper. Just and then what's funny is just like it's a mix between like mumble rap and screamo.
Yes,
and it's like
you never
Hollywood.
knew.
It's like Hollywood Undead, basically, but like just worse.
I'm so in the bag for it.
Yeah, I think we can make something work with this.
It probably explains, like on your tweet earlier, why the breath stinks, because she's always just performing. So
I sense it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out how to grow something. I'm doing a music video where I'm remaking a bunch of Shia LaBeouf movie scenes, and he does have a pretty nice beard lately. And I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I can do it, but genetically I'm fucked.
Yeah, that's tough if you don't have.
That's what I thought too.
So they have this thing, you roll it on your face, and it's like a plow for your face, right?
Open up the pores.
And you open up the pores, and then you put the beard seed in, and then you want to make sure you water it 4 times a day, and you need at least.
You're lying right now.
You need at least 2 hours of sunlight a day, because that way photosynthesis will kick in, and then your face will start.
Start with like grow lights, and you know what I mean. If you can't get outside, you can just start, inside with the grow lights. And,
Question:
temperature control and moisture.
Do you have access to a husky dog?
I don't. Does that help too?
Elmer, no, a husky dog, whatever you want to call it. Elmer's glue, and then lay in the dog bed for it. That works as well.
These are all great suggestions.
It would match the hair.
The only other thing that you could possibly do, honestly, is hair transplant.
Balls to face.
But yeah, balls to face.
Yeah.
Genetically or DNA wise or whatever, they're very similar.
Ball hair and face hair?
Yeah. So, but if you can't grow a beard, then it's ball hair on your face. But if you can grow a beard, then your balls just have a beard.
Yeah. But if you manscape too much, then
check my dick beard.
Why do you think the lion's the king of the jungle?
Yeah.
He spends all day down there trimming and licking, and that's how the mane is.
It just
created.
looks good.
It just sticks to his face.
Yes. Interesting. So you
know what his new rap song is going to be.
So you asked a valid question about our arms. And I don't know if you remember, but you more or less, if God didn't want us to masturbate, then why would he make our arms at that perfect length?
The length right at the dick.
Yeah, it's right there. And if you think about once you broke that down for me, it was pretty life-changing.
It's weird, right?
Right. Yeah, so I mean, we don't even need to, hear the inspiration or why that is, but that's a great advice. So anybody out there, if you guys have a scientifical answer, throw it up in the chat. If not, that's why. We know that's why.
That's why the T-Rexes didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why they're so angry.
That's why they're exactly. You see Meet the Robinsons where he's like, I got a big head and tiny arms. No. He's got a big head and tiny arms, and he can't reach his own dick.
How does CeeLo Green do it? How does CeeLo Green do it?
Does he have short arms?
Oh, he's got little arms.
He's got money, dude. He can get jerked off.
Yeah, that's true.
But every once in a while, you just do it better.
It really, honestly, it's just no one will ever give me a hand job like I can give myself.
Facts.
Professional.
Yeah.
I wish I got paid like a professional. I'd be
well. Okay, so this is funny. So I just thought about this. So there's this. Okay.
You really built this up. It better.
I have only ever played with one my entire life, right? Since I was like 12 years old. Yeah, a dick, right? Okay. And since I was like 12 years old, I haven't stopped playing with it since. Okay. I have been inside multiple vaginas. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Me too. So many, dude.
Okay.
So many.
I have enjoyed playing with the one dick I've played with, which is 100% of the dicks I've played with. Okay, the one. However, I've only liked probably about 50% of the vaginas I've been in. I'm not saying that I'm gay, but statistically speaking, I like 100% of the dicks I've played with, but only 50% of the vaginas I've been in. That correlates. The statistics basically point the other way.
Logic says.
However,
You're
I'm
a mathematician.
Wow, that's a math I've never thought of.
Yeah.
This whole conversation took a hard left turn.
Yeah.
Wait, what kind of a left turn was that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the best meme I've ever read was, I bet you sucking your own dick feels a lot more like sucking a dick than getting your dick sucked.
That's
That's facts. That'll probably be my next
is
TikTok
facts.
before somebody
That should
steals it from me.
Nah, nobody steals anything from the show. I mean, we've thrown out $1 million ideas for the last 46 weeks. Nobody's stolen.
Nobody's come back with
Don't have
anything.
enough smart viewers, anyways.
Turns out we haven't capitalized on any of them either, because
Yeah.
when we get backstage, too many coffees and we forget about our own.
Caffeine will fuck you up, man.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. So, man, I don't even know how to segue from this one. But I guess
Yeah, I think
does
we're
anybody
well.
have any other dick jokes or?
Been fun. See ya. Can't
Well,
this.
yeah.
Well, this episode is called Talking Dicks.
It's a great. I want to.
I'm just imagining a cartoon now of a bunch of dicks just having a conversation. Just literally just having a conversation.
With dick beard.
With dick beards.
Some have
Jesus
dick
Christ.
beards. Some don't have dick beards.
What the fuck just happened?
There's another idea. Sean says it would be a stiff exit.
Stiff exit.
All right, so obviously we mentioned earlier that you're a magician as well. So tell us kind of what your favorite magic trick was, or venue, or kind of how you got the idea for the videos to do your magic tricks.
Oh, those dude. I don't know where that idea came from. I think I started doing that. I was on tour with Chris Webby last year. And I started doing it just fucking around, and everybody on the tour thought it was like the most amazing thing ever. But also a lot of people on the tour were like, "Oh my God, you can do that with a phone." And I was like, "What? How old are you guys? What are you doing?"
So for anybody that doesn't know, do you want to explain to them real quick what we're talking about if they haven't seen?
So it would be a video where I'd be like outside of the venue, and it started off with me just like doing a quick ducking my head under the camera, and then I would come back up and I would be on stage in the sold out whatever venue with the crowd, and it would just look cool from being outside to going inside, and then boom. And then it kind of escalated from there to just doing the teleport to a bunch of different random situations with a bunch of different random people, and then everybody else on the tour got totally into it. And I had all these ideas to do stuff this year when we were supposed to go on tour, but obviously that got messed up. But I'm trying to think of my favorite one was, there was one last year. It was like the last show of the tour when we were in, I think, Portland, Maine, and everybody on the tour kind of swapped it. So I would duck down, and then it would be like Chris Webby would pop up, and then he'd go down, and Jaron Benton would pop up, and it was pretty much everybody on the tour. So that was just super fun.
That's awesome. And like last week, and you kind of just talked about, the whole tour, the COVID, all this shit. We had Nate Kessel on last week, opera singer, traveled all over the world, was going to be his first time in Mexico, all these places. And he kind of took, obviously he can't do that. So he kind of has turned to TikTok and social media, doing content and everything. And it's kind of wild because he has an opera voice. He has a great voice, great musician. And he puts rubber bands on stuff and then explodes shit into his face. And people love like rotten milk and shit. He just did one last week. He messaged me like, "I got food poisoning, not good one." And I was like, "What the?" But I mean, it's just COVID. And I mean, is there anything I guess a positive from it? Is there anything that you've become maybe a little better at, or anything that's kind of been better for you, your music, your brand, or anything because of COVID? And when tours are about to hit, you can take this terrible, shitty pandemic, once in a lifetime experience, and maybe make it into something a little bit better because you've learned something, or has it just been like just totally terrible?
No, I mean, for me, the most important thing to me is songs, and so a bunch of bad shit can happen, or as long as a good song comes out of it, I'm okay. You know what I mean? And I even think some of the stuff I've written since COVID has hit that I would have been out touring during that time has been some of the best music I've ever made. So
yeah,
in that sense, I'm just happy I've been able to make good music, and happy I'm able to have an outlet and the opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? And
if anything, you got a pandemic album.
Yeah, right. I mean, it sucks not being on tour, obviously, because that's what I started doing music for. Is like that's what I love.
Yeah.
So that's been difficult, but the music I've made, I know, my fans and are going to be so fucking stoked on. So.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too. Me being a guy, I think everybody in this room is a guy that just lives for live music. I mean, the shows. Anytime we're about an hour away from Ottawa, so we get a lot of that punk music scene, where they go from the Toronto to the Montreal, and this club 27 in Ottawa somehow gets all these big names to just stop in there and play at this very, very small venue. You go up there for $13 Canadian, which is like a Big Mac and 7 fries, and go watch some very good music in a small venue, shoot the shit with them, have a drink with them. And it's just a cool kind of atmosphere. If you're ever on that East Coast and we're allowed to go to Canada, should hit us up and we'll go up there. It's a blast.
Well, that's what it was. Our tour was Canada. That was, our tour that was set for April and May, and then got pushed to like July and August, and now it's pushed to next year, April, May.
Yeah.
So if all goes well.
Yeah, you're ever in that Ottawa, Montreal area, you got to hit us up. We'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome. I hope it happens. I'm crossing my fingers, man.
It's got to happen at some point.
I think COVID will be done by 2034. So
at least
hang on there.
Yeah.
So every musician kind of has that moment where they just kind of want to quit. They want to give up. You took kind of that moment and made a great song out of it. Is there kind of like a piece of advice? I know we got to wrap things up for you. Is there kind of just a piece of advice or anything that you want to tell a musician, kind of, maybe they're struggling, maybe they're at that moment, just something to kind of get them over that hump or keep them going?
I mean, I kind of hit that point all the time. It's not like oh, this happened this one time. I mean, it's like a not a daily, but like a weekly thing to remind yourself, why do I want to do this? And a lot of times, especially in my situation where I do everything, the stress can kind of build up and you forget that what it really is about is the music. And once you kind of let those feelings go into your medium, once again, it reminds you why you do it. And so for me, it's just, always just remember what's important. And what's important is always the music.
Yeah.
And letting people know how you feel. Like, I don't believe in writer's block for me. If I ever have writer's block, I'm just not writing about what I need to be writing about. You know what I mean? There's always something that I need to be saying. Sometimes I'm just not really digging deep enough. I'm not willing to do the time to dig deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
I can relate to that too, because there's a lot of people like in the same sort of a situation is like people like, oh, I can't come up with content ideas. Like I can't think of an idea for content. Like for you, like were you saying there's no writer's block, like you're thinking about something, obviously something's on your mind if you're having writer's block, right? And then so you talk about that thing that's like causing you to not have the creativity you normally would have or whatever it is. And that's the same thing with like creating content. Everyone, well, I can't come up with an idea. Well, talk about the fact you can't come up with an idea. Like everything can be created. Like that's what I like about your music so much in comparison to there's a lot of other artists that are like, they just, make, songs that are like poppy or whatever, or catchy. And then obviously your songs are, but like, you don't just rap about bullshit. Like you have actual substance to your music. And even if it's not like, super, super deep or anything like that, but like, there's like relatability to it. Like everything that you've put out actually has substance to it. And the thing with creating content is like, if you present it in a certain way, it can be good regardless of what it is. Like you could make a video about fucking,
an elephant dick,
right? And if it's presented, if it's presented in the right way, it'll be received well. And I think yeah, pun intended. I don't know if anyone's going to receive that well. I'm going to be honest with you.
They keep making elephants, so somebody's taking it.
Yeah.
It's fast.
But
you ever been to a zoo around mating season? It's weird.
that's the thing that a lot of people have an issue with sometimes, is just like
Zoom in.
thinking that there's like elephant dicks is a huge problem. But thinking that like it has to be like a one-way road, if that makes sense. I'm tripping over my words right now because I've had way too much fucking caffeine. But
no, it does, because I think everybody appreciates a human moment too. And so if not everything has to be putting on a show, I mean, I think people appreciate being genuine, and that's the shit that people can relate with. If you're like, even if that's how you're feeling, you're like, I'm just going to talk about how I feel. There's someone else out there who's feeling the same fucking way.
Exactly.
Maybe not at that moment, but they have felt that way or whatever. And that's like with my music, I've always just tried to like, there's no reason a cool message can't be entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if I could sneak some shit in there and just make it sound cool, that's kind of the goal,
Exactly.
Yep. And so we're kind of approaching. We got some feedback. We're kind of approaching. We're kind of hard stop. So what I want to do is I want to put you on the big screen, and I just want to tell the people where they can find you, what you have going on, anything you want. You want to talk about elephant dicks? Go for it. It's your time to shine. Take as long as you want, and if you're ready,
sure.
All right, let's do it. Ready? Play it. Big screen.
What's up, everybody? My name's Ekoh. The lion is a more vicious creature, but elephant dick is arguably the size of an actual lion. So if you ever go to the jungle, you can find my music. You can find me on TikTok at Ekoh Music. That's EKOH Music. You can find me on Spotify, anywhere you listen to music streaming, and anywhere on social media at Ekoh Music, YouTube, everywhere. And thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you for taking the time. And obviously, he's on TikTok, guys. Go give him a follow on TikTok. You can follow him now before he blows up. So
yeah, he's gonna blow up here pretty soon. He just got his blue check mark, so he's gonna start blowing up.
Ching. Yeah. So seriously, thank you for taking the time to be on this. I know you're a busy guy, and look forward.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, and awesome. You're welcome anytime you want to come back to the show, beard or beardless. It doesn't matter to us. You ever need beard advice? When that starts, obviously hit us up. But thanks for everything. Hopefully everybody connects with you, and you keep putting out some amazing stuff. And I know you got a bunch of fans right here in this room. So keep doing what you do. You're amazing, and seriously, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you guys, man, and all the support. And Kevin, you've been showing me amazing support, dude. I appreciate it.
I'm still starstruck and dumbfounded that like we're homies now. I got to tell you that I'm gonna be honest with you. I was telling someone at the gym earlier. I was like. I was listening, like your song was playing on the radio, not on the radio, but like on the speakers. And I was talking to someone. I was like, yeah, I was just talking to him earlier. He's going to be on the podcast tonight. And they're like, what? And I was like, trust me, I know. I'm still fucking dumbfounded by it because I've been listening to you for years. And then all of a sudden now we're talking. It's like,
well, dude, that same thing will happen to me. I'll have random ass people I haven't talked to in forever. They're like, dude, did I see you on Iron Sanctuary's fucking TikTok? And I was like, yeah, that was me.
That was a huge flex for me too. That's like one of the biggest flexes that I had for that video. Like obviously there's like Chris Hansen and then the guy from Letterkenny, but like having you hand the guitar to Adam Rose, like two people that I've been watching Adam Rose in like shows and stuff for a while, and then listening to your music for a while, so it just worked out perfectly. My favorite thing was like, was that Ekoh? Was that Ekoh? And I was just like, yep, that was Ekoh. No big deal.
No, it's awesome.
I love it, man. Well, thank you guys, dude. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll chat soon. Thank you so much, Ekoh, everybody.
See you later.
Later.
Thank you.
Guys, go check him out on all the social medias. Just an amazing guy, super talented, and it's not very often you get to see this guy a little bit starstruck.
He was.
I am, dude. I seriously like when he responded to my message, I was like, what? Like, because I've had so there's people that like are like, I would say famous, but like there's people that like are famous that have like either commented or responded. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, but they're not like people that I like avidly paid attention to for a long time. And him and Chris Webby, I've been listening to Chris Webby for a long time, and then I was listening to him for a while. And when I saw the tour dates before everything got canceled, I was like, I definitely want to go see him. My wife and I have been both listening to him for a while. Yeah. And then it got canceled, like the tour dates. I was like, God damn it, that sucks. And then now I literally like texted him. I was like, yo, you should be on the podcast.
I know that you sent me that. I was like, what? So
yeah, that's how I was like, yeah, no big deal. Just Ekoh.
Yeah, you ever heard of him? No. I live under a rock. I've never heard of the guy. But yeah, it's awesome, and I guess it's glad that the guest didn't work out. And next week we have another amazing episode, potentially with 2 guests, and maybe even our 3rd beardless guest. You guys will have to tune in to find out.
We're gonna have to write some bylaws about this.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We're really good at not doing a lot of things.
No doubt.
So what we're gonna do is the time of the show that anybody's watching on the original Iron Sanctuary YouTube. All right, this is gonna go down on that network, but all you have to do is head on over to beardlaws.com. And I remembered that I have to type it this time. And you didn't even have to tell me, like, dude, just put it in the chat. So you just have to head here and continue to watch it. We're going to run a really quick ad, and then we're going to get into one of our favorite segments where we each handpick a funny, inspirational, or anything we want video from TikTok. Not only is it something that hopefully you guys haven't seen and you enjoy, but it also gives the content creator a little bit of a boost and maybe some views in a different market. And if there's something that you guys want featured in there, remember, use the hashtag BeardLawsReactions. All right, so make sure you guys check that out. So we're gonna hit you guys with a quick little ad from an amazing beard company called Lone Bear Beard. Check them out too. Lone Bear Beard is a small batch handcraft company that takes pride in every product that they produce. They're a family-run business that produces an extremely high-quality product that they physically create and formulate. All carrier oils, waxes, and butters are the best organic products available on the market. They believe that every time you use a Lone Bear Beard product, that you have the confidence that it's safe and of the finest quality. Their mission is to provide an all-around awesome experience for their customers. Yeah, that's Lone Bear Beard. The guy that did the voice, he was really cheap and affordable, so that's why we went with him. So
well, he's homeless, so
yeah.
It's that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was really easy. So we're gonna start you guys off with a video that Logan found with some assistance.
Yes.
So let's bring this in. I don't know if you guys have seen Zarbo. This guy is hilarious. So this was a good one.
Algorithm secret that most people don't know about. If you go to your profile to the 3 dots at the top right and you click on it, you realize that it doesn't matter what age your father is, he's still waxing his carrot. Here's a TikTok algorithm secret that most people don't know about. If you go to your profile to the 3 dots at the top right and you click on it, you realize that it doesn't matter what age your father is, he's still waxing his carrot. You're disappointed, aren't you? Here's a TikTok.
All right, guys, go follow him. Ooh, go follow him. Obviously, that's C Zarbo, and this is one that I picked out that I think is absolutely hilarious. She's got a lot of followers. She's approaching 500,000. Sarah Hesteros. Oh, sorry, Sarah, if you're watching and I butchered your name. But here we go.
Why have one when you can have 2? Why have 2 when you can have 3? Multiple orgasms. Yeah. Multiple orgasms. What?
I said I didn't want to do this one.
Oh.
We've got church.
Well, it's a religious experience.
I'll pray for you. What do you mean multiple?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Not enough.
Women can have multiple orgasms.
Women can have multiple. Then why are your people so angry?
Oh my gosh.
Never mind.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Why?
That's hilarious.
Her content is hilarious. All right, and this is the one that Kevin picked up.
Off to visit your mother. Well, off to visit your mother.
You can see what side of TikTok I'm on. But I dude, I watched that video. I just commented, I was like, I'm uncomfy.
Yeah.
That video makes me so uncomfortable, but I love it.
Yeah, you're on an internet. It's funny how different of a TikTok like that we all are on, because the videos that usually we find for each of us bring to this is way different.
Oh yeah.
Very much so. So what I want to do too is give a quick shout out to a couple of brands. I had a funny joke when I did Beard Law 46, and it was going to be a joke about Manscaped, but I didn't do that because nobody likes a bad ball joke. So Beard Bento, it's a monthly subscription box. If you guys want to check them out, it's only $19.99. It's really cool products. Check it out. This month, September, there's some beef jerky included, along with some oils and some beard products. And also go check out Dano's seasoning, guys. It's amazing seasoning. I'm not just saying that. I put that on everything. Tonight, my daughter and myself, we had like this noodle thing. I put some Dano's on it. She had some ice cream and she yelled at me, but I put some Dano's on it. She had cereal in the morning. I put some Dano's on it. She doesn't like it, and I think I've ruined ice cream and cereal for her, so I'm sorry, kiddo. But it's really good, and you should try it. Maybe, disclaimer, don't put it on ice cream. Don't put it on your cereal. Your daughter will hate it. But, it's pretty good stuff. All kidding aside, they got a spicy and an original. And just real quick, too, Patreon shout-out time. The guys that continue to help support not only this show, but the brand for themselves. You got Beneficial 218. You guys can follow him on TikTok. He's in here somewhere. Assassin Outdoors, another New York dude. He's got a cool series that he's doing with some hunting, some fishing and stuff. He's repairing his boat. It's going to be another good one. Veteran Army 420, another great dude, goes by Sarge. He's on TikTok. Great supporter, veteran, just a good dude to support. Does a lot of videos and commercials for Beard Laws Oil. Big fan of him. And Tom V, a.k.a. the Bearded Tater Turtle, just an amazing dude. He comes on the Tuesday trivia show every once in a while. Just a funny dude, and just a great supporter, not only of the Beard Laws show, but a lot of content creators on TikTok. So thank you guys. If you guys want to be a part of the Patreon, patreon.com/beardlaws. Yeah. So now what are we going to do? Usually we just continue to do interview stuff.
Ching!
Look.
Idea. Before you fall asleep on us, Iron Sanctuary, sir.
Your hair looks good today. Did you put some?
Yeah, it does look good.
Oh my God, dude! I haven't used shampoo in a long time, so it's half dirt, half dust, half oil, half product. It's gross.
That's a lot of halves. I think at that point they're quarters.
Yogi Berra. Just look in the dictionary. I speak. Just deal with it.
Okay, what's the idea?
Anyways, idea. Here's what I want to know. Are you a week plus in? 2 weeks, right? Almost, right? For being a dad.
Yeah. Almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks, right? So, I want the funniest story that you can talk about that's not personal so far. Live from you.
Oh, okay. So there's two of them. So last night, my wife. So the way we have it scheduled, is my wife will go to sleep around midnight, maybe a little bit earlier, and then I'll stay up with my daughter till about 3 a.m.
Yep.
And she's we're starting to get her schedule figured out where she'll stay awake during the day. So that way she'll sleep better at night, because before she was just sleeping a bunch during the day, and then she would stay up all night, and it was just miserable.
That explains why you text me at that time of day.
Yeah, so that's why this morning I literally was going to sleep when you texted me this morning.
I hate doing it in the morning, but we've talked about it. And it's like, don't worry, you won't wake me up, and when you text me, you don't wake, whatever. So I was like, yeah, and then you did it. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. So, and she was my daughter was so angry, but she wasn't hungry. She didn't need to be changed. No gas bubble or anything. She was just furious that she was awake, which would keep her awake and make it very hard for her to go to sleep. She was not happy. And then but I didn't know this at the time. I thought maybe she was hungry. And when my wife, so we're supplementing with formula, just not too much, but just enough, so that way my wife can get a little bit of a break, for one. And if she didn't produce it, or if she wasn't producing enough, we'd be able to make sure that our daughter's not starving. Right. That's not so much an issue anymore, obviously. Yeah, it is important. Yeah, we were super, the first 2 days, we were like, I don't know why she's so mad. Turns out she wasn't eating enough yet. But so I fed her. She had 2 ounces of formula, and we're just kicking it, right? I'm watching. I think I was watching Narcos, and she woke herself up and then looks at me, and then just throws up all over my face and my beard. And it was the first time, like, she spit up on me, whatever, but like not a whole bunch, but this was literally all 2 ounces all over me. And she had just finished drinking it too. So it was warm. And I'm just like, it got in my mouth and it was going, I was like, at first I was like, oh my gosh, did this really just happen? And then the second thought that I had was, holy crap, formula tastes super, super disgusting. I can understand why she spit it back up.
Yeah, and then it's funny, like, when you get to the point where you're like, oh, let's introduce some baby food or some real food, and then they're like picky about what they eat. And it's like, how in the hell are you picky? Do you remember the shit you used to eat? You
just drink breast milk or formula. Like, you should be happy you're getting anything else. Every now and again, like if I have, because we have a candy dish that I replenish with the Hershey's bars, the miniature Hershey's bars, but I usually only eat the Mr. Good bars and the crackles, and then the special dark and the Hershey's chocolate just kind of stay there, whatever. But every now and again, like I'll eat and then I'll have her taste the chocolate a little bit, and her eyes light up like it's the most amazing thing she's ever had.
Can you like have like chocolate breast milk? Is that a thing? Is that $1 million idea or a bad idea?
I don't know, because I assume formula is just like vanilla flavored.
Yeah, why don't they have like
I don't even think it's vanilla. I think it tastes like carpet.
Carpet flavor, yeah.
Tastes like carpet.
Carpet flavored, honestly.
I think the other funny thing is
you have to try it. Everybody's tried it.
Not on purpose.
Doesn't
You don't try that on purpose.
Right.
You forget, and then you're like, oh,
yep.
Okay. Speaking of that, I think the funniest thing is my wife came downstairs after feeding my daughter upstairs because we were trying to figure out like who was going to sleep where, and she comes downstairs. She's like, well, there's this. You have to like, if they stop eating, you have to like, basically just kind of show them that it's still there and there's still milk there. And she did that and just squirted her right in the face, just right in the face. And she was half asleep and half awake. And I just started dying laughing. I'm like, that's literally the funniest thing I've ever heard.
You just milk boarded your kid.
Milk boarded the kid. Like, just, hey, there's still food here. Thanks. I know.
Yep.
That's good.
All right. Another question. And then we can go a different direction if you wish, Matthew. Another question. All right. So my wife and I had always decided that we would be honest with other people when they had babies. So we were older when we had babies, but we've been to like thousands of weddings, have hundreds of friends, which would the numbers don't add up there, but you know what I mean. So like when people have babies, everyone's always like, "Oh, your baby! Oh, she's so cute! He's so cute!" Oh. So we're like, let's be honest with each other. If our kids come out
ugly,
let's acknowledge that fact. Like it doesn't make you love them less. It just makes you a realist.
Yeah.
So our first one came out, and I'm telling you what, he was the cutest thing ever. But like we had like a checklist. Like he has good skin, he has good features, like he has eyes that aren't crossed, and, all that stuff. Like kind of being funny about it, but also kind of being real.
Yeah.
So like the first one, he just came out perfect. When we had our second kid, he was blotchy. He looked like he looked like he had been playing in dirt for 7 weeks. Like he was gross. And like the first, I think it was my mother, maybe the first or second person she was like, he's so beautiful. And I'm just holding him. I was like, no, he's not. She's like, what? I go, he's fucking hideous. I love him, but he's fucking hideous. And she's like, you can't say that about your son. I was like, yeah, I can. Do you remember what the other one looked like? Because this one's ugly as shit. Oh, thank you, CT. I am beautiful. But like, to be honest, like for me and my wife, we decided that we were more comfortable being honest about it. So that, like for one, part of it was her mental state was she didn't want people just to blow smoke up her ass.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so beautiful. She was, you're worried about if your baby's healthy or happy.
People really blow smoke in your butthole?
From a conversation we all had earlier.
How we started this conversation. Let's maybe stray away from that for a little bit.
So,
finish
like,
talking about this.
it was one of those things that, yes, so we did give him a porn star name, but so your daughter, truthfully, now granted, your dad, and of course she's beautiful, but honest opinion.
I think when she came out, it's beautiful. And I know there's a because we had talked about it before. My wife and I, same sort of deal. We were just hoping for two reasons. One, we didn't want her to be ugly when she came out. That would have sucked. We were we wanted her to have all of her fingers and toes and have red hair, and that's what we got. And then she wasn't ugly, right? Well, obviously when they first come out, before they become slightly acclimated to the real world, air, they all look like little gremlins. Especially with like a vaginal birth, because like their head gets misshaped sometimes, and luckily hers didn't. Hers was really round, so everyone was like, was she C-section? Nope, she's just 7 pounds 9 ounces. She's not a huge kid.
Pretty big.
They're still pretty big. Honestly, I would not be able to push a 7 pound 9 ounce.
I know people that can't throw that bowling, like Squeak. His bowling ball 7 pounds. He can't even throw an 8-pound bowling ball.
Yeah.
Well done.
I definitely couldn't throw a 7 pound baby if it just
and you shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't.
But so she obviously when she became acclimated, she wasn't ugly. I thought she came out pretty good looking as for a baby, right? And because our friends, baby are all girls when they come out. Yep. Our friends had a daughter, and when she came out, I was like, that's an ugly baby.
Yeah.
Right? And then she got a little bit older, and now she's cute, right? And ours, I'm afraid it's going to go the other way. And I really hope it's not the case. But if she's ugly, it means I don't have to worry about boys or girls.
He's like Beetlejuice. You say Squeak enough, he shows up.
Yeah.
An 11-pound ball either.
She's just gonna, if she's ugly, she's just gonna be a dog groomer her whole life.
Probably
knits things. She's gonna knit things,
which is fine, because I don't think I'm ready to be a grandpa yet. It's a little bit.
You got
but no, yeah, we were super worried about that. And then the other reason that I was really hoping she wasn't ugly is because of the announcement video I did. And Matt, I forgot to add your clip in there. There were so many people that
you had a lot. I wasn't even mad about it because you got some pretty cool people.
I had to speed it up in order to get them all to fit, right?
Especially because they're all a couple seconds going one frame to the other.
And it sucked too, because some of them were like, there's certain people that I really wanted to be in the video, but the way they filmed I couldn't speed it up, or I would say no, I would not eat the corn. But there were so many. I was like, and then I asked them to re-record it to do it a different way, and then they'd be like, yeah, I'll get to it, and then they didn't. I'm like, God dang it. But because at the end of that video, I wanted to have. Because everyone at throughout TikTok has been a part of the whole journey, which is why that video is the way it was. Because people were like, "Oh, you could do it like this, like that," and I'm like, this is how I want to do it. All these people were a part of, except for Chris Hansen and the guy from Letterkenny. Those were just like flexes that I wanted to have for famous people in there.
I saw the dude from Letterkenny too, and I was like,
which dude was it?
Riley. It was Riley.
Oh, Riley. Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but all these people were a part of the journey and ending it with Tyler and John, which obviously, that's where it started. Yeah. And then having John basically hand me my daughter in the video, I just thought it was like the best way to do it. And if she was ugly, that wouldn't have worked. I would have had to wait. And I had already made everyone wait like 3 days. We posted the video saying that, oh my God, it's happening. Even though she was induced, she didn't actually go. Her water didn't break. Like she was induced. We went through that process. But I made everyone wait like 3 days. My account had like 3.4 million profile visits the day after I posted that video, and then the next day after that, before I posted the announcement, it had like 1.6 million.
Yeah, crazy. You are loved, sir.
I know it's honestly it was crazy.
Yeah, true.
Come on.
True.
It really was the baby.
Or at least you're at least creeped on a lot.
Yeah. But no, it's what's crazy. And here's the other thing, and I don't know how this is going to be received, right? When you're in the hospital, so when we were in the hospital, they make you watch 4 videos, and it's like about like taking the baby home, using the car seat, don't smoke around the baby, don't do drugs around the baby, stuff like that. And then there's a whole series, there's a whole like 20-minute video you had to watch about like how certain things can like hurt a child, like if you accidentally drop them. And like they're made of Jello like the first couple months. So if you drop them from like a small height, or if they roll off something, it's not going to kill them. You just want to, things that you want to watch out for. And then there's like a 5-minute section of all the terrifying or like the terrible things that can happen if you violently shake a baby. And I'm watching these and I'm like, this is so like, obviously you're not going to violently shake a baby. Right. And then the other night I'm sitting there and like, not that I was thinking about shaking my daughter, obviously, but I'm holding her and she's eating, she's fresh diaper, and she's just screaming her head off. And like, I figured out this thing where it's like, before I'd be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? I'll just look at her and be like, really? You're being dramatic right now. Like there's no reason that you need to be screaming like this. And then after a little while of me just talking to her, she'll just look at me and be like, okay, maybe you're right. And she'll fall asleep. And then she's doing this and like, I'm watching her scream at me and I'm having this conversation with her. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, I get it. Now I know why they make you watch these videos. Because for me, I guess it was, my situation is a little bit different because like it's not like I have to be anywhere. So if I lose sleep, I'm just tired, right? But like I can understand the stress that it can put on people, like having to be at work the next day and stuff like that, and they're just screaming their head off for no reason. And it's like, okay, that because there's postpartum, like I've read a whole bunch. There's a lot of postpartum stuff that males can affect males as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm aware of all that stuff because I've dealt with depression and anxiety and stuff like that. So you're more predisposed to that sort of a thing if you've had issues with it in the past. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to know what to look out for myself, obviously. And so I'm just watching her scream her head off. I'm like, it makes sense. Not that I would ever obviously do that, but like I can see why like there's certain things that can happen that can lead to that.
There's a lot of things that people, and I'm not going to say they're dumb, stupid, whatever, but there's a lot of people out there that do a lot of things that we know isn't right. And their brains just don't function because no two brains really function alike.
Exactly.
They have that, you know what I mean? They don't have that. And they're just, they react. They don't think. They react before they think. And it's just a stop.
And it's sad that they would even have to have videos like that.
It really is. Honestly, it seriously is because like, well, think about it logically. It's a baby. So obviously it doesn't know anything. It's like 6, 7, 8, 10 days old. That's how it communicates is by crying. There's usually one of 4 things. It can. Yeah, it doesn't get talked about very often. That's the problem. But it's one of 4 things. They're either hungry, okay, they need to be changed, they want to be held, they're gassy, or they're tired, right? So it's very simple what those things are. And if you get past,
I have the same problems.
If you get past, see, I still have the same problems, right? Yeah. And then she has this thing where she'll wake up and start crying, and at first I thought, well, maybe she's waking up hungry. And then I looked at the news and I was like, it's just more socially acceptable for a newborn to wake up crying about how the world is, as opposed to when I wake up crying about it, my wife tells me to shut up.
Yeah, it's just like, I didn't get all these hospital visitors.
Yeah.
Should have, stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah, but already.
What's crazy though is like obviously because newborn, right? That's what it does. That's how it communicates. But if a grown man screamed at me the way my daughter does,
shake the shit out of him.
I would probably, like, if it was just constant, you'd probably hit that person in the face. Be like, that you're being ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But like, as a logic person, you can separate the two. But that's why, and I've been reading a lot of, because I was like, this is so weird. Like, this is like, you don't shake children. You hear about it. It happens on the news. You're like, I can't believe anyone would do that. And then you read into it. You're like, okay, there's like, there's connections that need to happen, and then lack of sleep, lack of like proper, like prior preparedness, like understanding what to look out for.
Yeah, and usually that person had some kind of, you know, there was more behind the scenes.
There obviously I was just more behind the scenes with that, but like it's interesting. It's not. I mean, it's terrible. It's a terrible thing that happens. But like I've been reading a lot about like the postpartum stuff because, like I said, like I'm super interested with learning. I have tons of time now. Like literally, she'll be asleep in my arms. I'll just research shit for no reason.
Time on my hands.
Exactly. But there's so much. You hear about postpartum depression in women, you're like, okay, they get depressed, you know, whatever. There's like this, that, and the other thing about it. But like the male side of it, like there's a huge, like it can definitely affect males. And no dude that I've actually like, I mean, like I've had buddies that have just had kids and I brought it up to them. They're like, no, yeah, I went through it. They're like, well, why didn't you say anything? Because you just don't. But that's for me, because I mean, 5.5 years of recovery, I talk about my feelings and I talk about stuff, and it's definitely something that needs to be talked about more.
I agree. No, it's a good thing, and maybe you know, a voice as such as yours can make dudes not feel so awkward talking about it. I know me just being there, I was just like, I'll deal with it.
And there's the other thing about it too. This like that could be part of it is I didn't really have like a breakdown the other day, but lack of sleep, and then the fact that for some reason I couldn't get her to calm down or fall asleep. But whereas usually like the last couple previous days before that, like I rock her or whatever, and then she would end up falling asleep in my arms. But like she just wasn't having it. Right? She only wanted my wife.
Yeah.
And I understand why. Like logically, okay, that's food, and then she grew in her belly, so there's more of a connection there than there is with me at this point. But like that was the only thing that would get her to calm down is like my wife, breastfeeding her, right? And in my head, I'm like, she doesn't like me. My daughter doesn't like me. She hates me. She hates me. She doesn't want anything to do with me. I can't get her to calm down. I called my buddy who just had a kid, and I was like, my daughter doesn't like me. I don't know why. And he's like, dude, she's 6 days old. She doesn't even know what the world is. She just wants food. That's like literally, but like, because the lack of sleep and then having that being like, because I had a little smidgen of confidence thinking, okay, I figured her out. This is how I get her to fall asleep. And then all of a sudden it's completely different. It's like, holy crap, I'm a terrible father. She doesn't like me. And
this isn't to bum you out. This is just kind of what happens. Like you finally get, at least in my opinion, when it happened to me, you finally are like, dude, I got this. I know what to do. I can get her to sleep. I can change your diapers. And then next thing you know, their routines change because they're a little bit older. And you're like, fuck. And then you're like, all right, cool. I got this new one. And then it changes again. And you're like, God damn it. And then now my daughter's 7. And it's just like, oh, that's a whole different problem. Yeah.
And see,
but every problem is still a great problem to have because there is nothing like being a parent, honestly, man. Like,
my wife always says, she's like, dude, you pout when you don't get your own way with your kids. I'm like, why shouldn't I? First off, you got to spend the first 9 months with them in there.
I only did 9 months.
I didn't. They never kicked for me. They kicked for you all day long. I go up there, where are you, little fella? And they wouldn't kick. I'm like, plus they're 2 dudes. I want dad time. And so, like, of course, they're still at 6 and 4. They're still attached to their mom. Like, they would crawl back in if they could. It's probably really warm, but like they'll hang out with me. But at the end of the night, it's always mom time, and I'll sit there and be like, "Dude, what the hell? Come and hang out with me." And she's like, "Don't pout." I'm like, I am pouting.
Yeah, and see that's
and I'm fucking cool.
And I think
I want to hang out with
exactly. And I think the thing is that it's probably talked about more. We just don't see it as much. Is that the dynamic with the relationships between a father and their kids is way different than it was when I was growing up. Obviously, like, I mean, my dad, he was in the Navy. He was gone a lot. So like the relationship that him and I have is very different than, the relationship that other people have with their kids, or if the like father's non-existent, right? If they're not in the picture. And that's, unfortunately, that's a problem. But what's not like focused on is like the dads who, like I would say like myself at this point, who knows, I might not like her later and I'll just leave. But like at this point, I really enjoy being around my daughter and my wife, and I want to obviously be there for everything. But like the fathers that want to be super active in every part of it. Like for me, it's like I know probably more about like what breast milk does and like how to use the pump machine and all that stuff than my wife does, because that's what I could do, because I couldn't do anything else. Okay, let me learn how to help her with all of this stuff, so that way I just say, hey, here's how you do it, whatever, and she's good to go. She doesn't have to like think about that. She just has to basically just be there to provide nourishment. Yeah. And what the problem is that like there's mom groups, right? There's mom groups on Facebook. There's breastfeeding groups on Facebook. There's all these other groups for moms to basically discuss things with each other. And I've been looking for it, and I've asked a couple of people. There's not really a lot of places for dads like that.
I imagine either like single dad groups or single dad, widow dad groups, or otherwise you just get made fun of or trolled or whatever, which nobody wants to do. Like any of the three of us would be like, yeah, whatever. But at some point you'd notice it and you'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
A lot different now than it was,
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Like,
back in the day, it was just like, it is much different. But
yeah, like
I mean, so we could go on and on again. We're a little past time.
Oh,
so
shit.
It's okay. It's fine. I talk, and we can talk as much as you want backstage, or if like CT, he's going to be a dad soon, or if any dads want to come backstage and chat with us. This is a dad group. We're just gonna end the live, and if anybody, dad or mom, want to be a part of it, shoot a message on Instagram. You guys come to the backstage. Time flies when you're having fun.
I got new swag.
Beware of mom groups on Facebook.
I know. Oh, I've heard some horror stories.
Definitely. But guys, can't thank you enough. Episode 46 in the books. 47 is going to be a good one. We're not going to announce yet, but stay tuned, everybody. Midweek, we have a cool announcement. We have a really cool show that Iron Sanctuary's lined up, and it's going to be a good one.
Well, we'll be here, so.
I mean, we're going to be here. Episode 47, next Thursday, 9, 10, 20. See you, local Oreo. Shoot me the link. All right. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. We're going to hit you guys with the outro. We're going to do this again next Thursday, Tuesday. If anybody wants to be a part of trivia night, we've been doing Jackbox party games, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Viewers, anybody can play. It's a good time. Logan, we know what he's up to. He's got tomorrow off. He's going to do some good stuff, maybe do some camping.
You know what I'm going to have for breakfast?
Beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously Iron Sanctuary, if you want to tell the people what you got going on, obviously Dad Life, or where they can find you if they don't know already.
Iron Sanctuary on TikTok, on Instagram, Original Iron Sanctuary on YouTube, Twitter. I'm Iron Sanctuary 1, I think, because the guy who owns my username on Twitter won't respond to my messages and let me buy my username. So I'm also still giving away a Toyota Supra. That is still a thing. I will probably be making a video about it on TikTok here pretty soon, but I am picking it up from the shop that it's at because I decided instead of giving away as is, I made it better. It's all still original, but like paint corrections is being done. The full, I'll go into it more, but a lot of cool stuff.
So much
happening with that.
Yeah, it's going to be a good thing. And guys, it's really easy. Just head over to beardlaws.com. Check out the link. Anything you buy that is Iron Sanctuary, we're actually keeping checkup. For every $10 spent is a ticket. And you're entered to win. And there's other ways that you can do it. But
please read the terms and conditions. Very important.
Very important.
And pretty soon, in probably 4 or 5 days, you can actually watch a live stream of Iron Sanctuary sleeping for 13 and a half straight minutes.
People used to do that.
That'll be fun.
People did that on TikTok.
I mean, date to be determined, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. I haven't figured out when I'll have time to sleep for 13 and a half minutes, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we got this. Yeah. So seriously, guys, thank you so much for everything that you do, for checking it out. You guys are amazing. Hit you guys with the outro. And if anybody wants to be a part of the backstage for a little bit, Instagram, check it out. Send me a message. And okay, bye.
Peace.